Who am I here with?
Timothy Player.
So, Tim, you have been here for a long time. You've earned your black belt. How long have you been training?
12 years.
12 years. Wow. Okay. Now, what got you interested in martial arts?
A lot of martial arts movies, as well as being beat up by my older brother, who was a lot smaller than me. So I knew I didn't know how to grapple. He could take me down. He knew like two things, and that's all he needed to beat me up, even though he was a lot smaller than me.
And when you started, did you start with jujitsu or where did you get it? How did you get involved?
Yeah, I started with both. Initially, I was more interested in grappling, but as I got in, the striking side also appealed to me because came very quickly. Grappling took a little more time and effort, but both of them kind of started at the same time and kind of pushed through for about 5 years with both. And then I kind of tapered off a little bit after I got my black belt in total self defense and kind of switched more into the gear of jujitsu, just the longevity of learning more and more. Whereas striking is really good, but there's so many nuanced timing things to striking, whereas jujitsu, there's just a wealth of techniques that you can just keep building on throughout time.
So, you started mainly for self defense.
Yep.
Was there a point where you decided, hey, I'm just going to go this other route? Was it just like an event, or because I know you competed in the cage,
Yes.
So
Yep.
and it was an incredible fight. I remember that night very well. We had a good game plan for your opponent coming in,
Yes.
and a lot of people don't know that was switched up on us, and we had to kind of do it on the fly. So
Absolutely.
just let's walk through that real quick
Yeah.
because that was an
Yeah.
experience. So you had competed in jiu-jitsu
Yes.
before you took that fight,
Yep.
and then we got there and we'd agreed to a fight, and it turned out to be that fighter didn't make weight. I don't
Correct.
recall.
Yep. Yep. The night before, we both weighed in. He was 7 pounds overweight, so they told him to like go take a run, and then he just never showed up the next day. So I was willing to take the fight because I was ready to go. 205 is what we were fighting at. So it's just like I don't care about 7 pounds. Let's just get this over with. But the next day, he just never showed. So thankfully, they had another fighter that they kind of told us about last second. They said, we do have somebody if you want to, and we didn't know who it was. We didn't know what experience he had, but they said, take it or leave it. And so we did end up taking it. And it was an experience to be sure.
So from on my side, from a coach's standpoint, we're sitting in the stands, and in front of everybody at the fighters meeting, the guy goes, "Hey, the fighter's not here. We have this other guy, Team Ram. Are you going to take it or leave it?" And I was just looked at you like, I guess we're taking it. And then he came out, and based on his appearance right away, I had the impression he was going to bring a big striking game because he did
Yes.
come out with a lot of Muay Thai
Muay Thai, yes.
outfit and everything. So immediately we went into our plan of using the cage and so there were some adjustments in the corner, but you did very well. I honestly think you stood and traded with him in the beginning,
Yeah.
and I felt like you got the better of the striking exchanges as well. But I also wanted to finish the fight early just in case.
Right.
And then the second round we basically adjusted it, and you went in, and then when it hit the mat, it was like quick, right?
Yes.
Did you have any other thoughts about that?
Yeah, so he was actually a southpaw, which took me a little bit off just because I think I was looking for a few bigger shots in my mind for what I was coming out with, but just that different stance was definitely the chipping away as is a good basic fundamentals of what we train every day here. So that really made a difference of just stick with the game plan of chipping away the whole time, and afterwards his biggest thing was his cardio was just done after knees up against the cage, and he said he just couldn't keep going. So that was where he kind of just came in with his arms out for me to be able to get the takedown and finish on the ground.
And the game plan in the corner, we were adjusting in that on that because it was only 2 rounds, and we decided, Caleb and I, that it would be good to wear him out against the wall, which we put him up against the cage. You did that
Yes.
perfectly, and then beat him up to the body. And then, of course, once they hit the mat, it was very quick. Now, that was a fun experience. Um, Now, benefits wise, can you think back and talk to me a little bit about some of the benefits, let's say,
Yeah.
fighting competition off the table? You've done amazing job in competing over the years. Fantastic competitor, well decorated. And we'll talk a little bit about your
Yeah.
most recent. But benefits wise, what have you gained from the training?
Yeah, definitely. When I started, I was definitely looking for a community at the same time because I came from New Hampshire after graduating college and it was my first full time job. So I really needed an outlet outside of just a job and home to actually have a friend group and build community. So that was the first massive benefit I gained from it. Secondarily, would just be the fitness aspect of having somewhere to go where you're going to be training with people you care about, where you also are gaining physical skills. You're not just sitting on the couch. It's very easy for me to do. If I'm not going anywhere and I don't have to be self-motivated to go to the gym, it's a lot easier to come into an environment where you're enjoying yourself, you're learning a skill, but you're also gaining those physical attributes as well.
Gi or no gi?
Definitely no gi. There's the tradition of the gi. There's nice lapel chokes, but I like to be able to slip out from underneath on the bottom, and especially when I get into bad spots. And I feel like in the gi, you can get stuck there a lot more. Yeah.
So are you competing in gi and no gi, or are you just primarily no gi now?
Primarily no gi. This last tournament that I did do both because I looked at the brackets and there were 7 or 8 black belts signed up, which is just very rare for an open weight class or especially in a higher weight class that I'm in. So I just had to throw my hat in the ring for that one, and it actually turned out really well. So I was happy with that. But
Tell me about this. You won both gold
Yes.
in the most recent competition you were in.
So this was a new breed competition in Roanoke, and I was able to get 3 wins in gi to clinch the gold, and then 4 wins in no gi to clinch the gold for both absolute divisions in gi and no gi. So apparently that was the first time somebody had done it through new breed of getting both black belt absolute and no gi absolute advanced divisions in one tournament.
That's amazing, brother. Well, you're an outstanding coach. I know the guys in no gi class, they love you. Watching you teach, it's been amazing. And just seeing you grow over the last few years. And now you're a black belt and starting to train. We're getting closer to that second degree, 12 years in. So keep it up, and we're very glad to have you here, bro.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely.